How can you come to a wet fit and don't expect for you to get wet? You don't know it's blows you go get. You watching SAT TV.
Bring out the reading, SAT Telecoms.
Welcome to SAT TV News. I'm Alicia George, your presenter. In our top stories, PM forces landslide victory. Venezuela government restricts media coverage of protests. After 25 die, protesters prepare to stand their ground in Ukraine. And in sports, Cube Cheese Barbershop advances to finals of DFA's Division 1 competition. Details of this will follow.
You're watching SAT Telecoms.
Welcome back. A number of persons in the north of the island are grateful for the recent donation of wheelchairs compliments the Rotary Club of Portsmouth. During the presentation, Rotarian Gregor Nassif outlined 3 of the many projects Rotary Club Portsmouth has adopted, including a bus shelter at Salbert, and a project that has already received the approval of the Ministry of Health involving the renovation of the emergency room wing at Portsmouth Hospital, which will provide 2 additional beds, bathroom facilities, as well as a specialized ER equipment. The third project, which is currently in progress, is the installation of 50 toilets with septic tanks in 50 homes in Calibishi. Mrs. Natalie Murphy, Executive Director of the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, DAPD, spoke of the tremendous need in Dominica for wheelchairs and thanked the Rotary Club of Portsmouth. Mrs. Murphy expressed her concern about Dominica not being disability friendly and emphasized that Dominica needs to become an environment that is friendly of all disabilities. In more news, Junior Achievers, JA, of Dominica, in partnership with the USAID, on Tuesday, February 18th, recognized 2 of their JA-registered schools, the Massac and Goodwill Primary School. Interim President of JA Worldwide, Mr. Liano Martello Loto, from Argentina, says he is proud to represent the Caribbean in this initiative.
We are really proud from Junior Achievement to be part of the JA program for the Eastern Caribbean. It's a USAID initiative that we started 2 years ago. And today we have 32 member nations that are running JA programs across the Americas region, which is the region that I'm leading right now. And it is also a proud for us to have the chance to work with very outstanding leaders that are making sure that Junior Achievement is touching as many lives as we can.
According to him, JA Dominica has already proven that there is strong leadership and commitment to development in Dominica, despite being one of the newest operations in the region. He went on to commend Mrs. Natasha Yeloy Labad, Director of JA Dominica, for the work she has put into the organization.
So we congratulate you, Natasha, for what you have been doing, and we hope we can keep up the good job. And of course, to you, the kids, I mean, you are the future, and we are proud of you. And we hope that we can serve you and give you the tools that you need to become very strong entrepreneurs to take Dominica even to a higher level. So
one representative from the Goodwill Primary School noted that the students enjoyed the JA excitement brought on by this initiative.
What really thrilled me was the packaging of the whole program is very, very exciting for the children. It was just very analytic. They had to think. They had to be creative. There was a level of competition which I observed. And what really thrilled me was my teachers. They were so much engaged. Everybody was part of the whole thing. I am saying that this kind of program should really be pattern integral of our schools, and I am just praying that this program can continue to be in Dominica.
She said through the different linkages, students have begun to understand that they are not only part of Dominica, but part of a bigger world. The teachers all agreed that the work taught tied in with the island's curriculum and provided the students with a different perspective on education and self-development. In other stories, the Rosalie Bay Resort has been a regular contributor to the island's tourism development lately, receiving noteworthy recognition by prominent travel blogs around the world. Shortly after being recognized by Condé Nast Traveler in the 2014 Gold List of the world's best places to stay, Rosalie Bay Resort has received 2 new awards. The resort was recently named as one of the 2014 best hotels in the Caribbean by U.S. News and World Report, and as one of the top 25 small hotels in the Caribbean in the 2014 Traveler's Choice Awards. It was the only resort in Dominica to receive the Gold Award, honored among the best in the region, and ranked #1 of the best hotels on island. This also marks the 2nd year in a row that Rosalie Bay has received the Traveler's Choice Awards. According to Miriam Winner, travel editor for U.S. News, the 2014 best hotels were selected because they meet the highest standards of travel experts and guests alike. The 2014 best hotels recognizes properties that were ranked based on an unbiased method that includes the collective opinion of travel experts and guests, expressed through online reviews and ratings. Rosalie Bay is an award-winning eco-boutique and wellness resort and is a pioneer in its environmental efforts, with the largest wind turbine in the region and founding Dominica's sea turtle conservation program. In more news, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has over the last few months hinted at early elections. Last weekend, during an address at Grand Fort, the Prime Minister again hinted at an early election date, and this time predicted a landslide victory for the Dominica Labour Party.
I am not prepared to relinquish 1 seat for the Workers' Party at the next election. Not 1 seat, ladies and gentlemen. We are going and we shall be returned to office because you, the people of Dominica, will decide and make that decision to vote back a working government, a working party, a party and a government that cares about you, the people of Dominica. They have demonstrated the love for the young people. They have demonstrated the love for the older people. And let's continue to work together.
He told the gathering that he is in the best of health and is ready to serve another term as Prime Minister. He did not state an exact date, but advised those in attendance to look very carefully for a sign.
Shall continue. And in respect to the election date, I am saying to you here in Grand Fort, Dominica, that you must place your eyes on me. Place your eyes on me, and you will get a hint at the right time about the date of the next general elections.
He has full confidence that the young people of Dominica is behind the Dominica Labour Party.
So when the young people are following Labour, when the young people are joining the national LYO, and when the young people are saying that when elections are called, they shall vote the Dominica Labour Party, they're doing so by choice. They're doing so because they're beneficiaries of the programs and the policies of the Dominica Labour Party. And that is why we're seeing a record number of young people registering.
The DLP, he says, has had to rescue the country from the opposition and build Dominica so that Dominicans can enjoy the hard work of the administration.
That Dominica has been in good hands since 2000. Because if we did not rescue Dominica from the Workers' Party, we would be in a very difficult and dangerous position. because it is the Workers' Party that brought us into misery in 2000. Just 4.5 years they had. Can you imagine if they had 14 years to destroy this country?
General elections are constitutionally due in 2015. In other stories, Dominican tailors and seamstresses are invited to a free pattern-making class scheduled to take place later this week at the Prevost Cinema in Roseau. These classes will be taught by Mr. Frank Lotterloh from Germany, a representative of the Lotterloh System International. During the classes, the participants will learn how to make made-to-fit patterns for sewing for the entire family.
This is possible thanks to a pattern-making system that was invented in Germany by my family in 1935, and today this system is well known around the world. I invite everybody to join this class. It is free, it is 1 hour, and you will receive 3 free pattern designs to make some patterns for yourself at home. The times of the classes are at 10 a.m. in the morning, 12 noon, and 5 p.m. on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 20th, the 21st, and 22nd of February.
Mr. Lotterloh said the system is based on the idea that the human body is proportioned within itself and certain body parts relates with each other.
For instance, the distance of the outstretched arms from fingertip to fingertip is the height of the body, or 8 times the length of the head equals the height of the body. The circumference of the fist equals the foot length. You place your thumb on the second segment of your index finger, that is the length of the nose, and there are many of these proportional relationships in the anatomy. And we use these facts, these mathematical facts, to develop or to calculate our little pattern designs. And with these designs now everybody can make their own made-to-fit patterns by using only 2 body measurements, the bust measurement and the hip measurement. And it does not matter if you have a commercial size or not, it will always fit you well.
This pattern, he says, is perfect as traditional patterns are made on commercial sizes. However, most people do not have a commercial size, which makes it difficult for them to purchase clothing that fit well. But the Lotterloh system solves that problem. Mr. Lotterloh noted, once you can sew, knowledge of this system will allow you to draft your patterns in a matter of minutes.
So let's say that lady with the bust measurement 96 wants to make this pattern for herself. She first finds the number 96, which is a black number right here, and there's a little tiny hole right next to that number 96 right here on that arrow that points to that number. This is where she would put a pin, and then there's a cross inside of our pattern design. All of our pattern designs have this cross, and this is now where this pin goes next. It goes right, let me see if I have something underneath here, right in the center of this cross, like that. And this allows me now to freely and easily move this tape measure with the sizing scale around the entire pattern design. So what I do next is also very easy. I bring the scale now to one of these lines, hold the tape measure nice and straight, read the number, there's 18, and make a dot right next to that number 18 on the tape measure. That's all you do. You read a number and you make a dot. And you go to the next line, you line up the scale, you read the number, it's 18, and you make a dot right next to the number 18 on the paper. And we go to the next line, 15, 19, and always make sure that the scale is right at the line, 19, because this line gives us the right angle, how to hold the tape measure straight. Then 33, read a number, make a dot. Everybody can do that. The straight of the grain. And we have the waist start right here. And this is now made to fit this pattern. And it fits beautifully. And like you have seen, Larry, I think you can do this now. A seam allowance needs to be added.
The purpose of these classes is to encourage persons to become self-employed. The Lotterloh system has been introduced to most of the Caribbean, including islands such as Trinidad, St. Thomas, St. Croix, Aruba, St. Martin, Anguilla, and St. Vincent, in addition to other countries worldwide. The patterns are available in 70 languages worldwide. In more news, the government of Dominica is expected to embark on a massive island-wide road rehabilitation project, according to Minister for Public Works, Honorable Rayburn Blackmore. He said some of the rehabilitation works have already begun.
Very soon you're going to see some serious rehabilitation work in terms of road repairs in the Gambia area, Lally, Rodney Street, and Harbour Lane in Portsmouth, Lagon in Portsmouth also. And this goes on. We have started working in Penny Bakers, and we have to continue our effort in Cottage. And although the road from Barjab into Whitaker, the list is up for serious rehab in due time, but it is important for us to actually maintain the road in the interim. From Pretty Savannah going back into Dillis and Whitaker, a contract is in effect to significantly rehabilitate those sections of road, that is to say from Pretty Savannah going back into Dillis, and of course Whitaker going back into Dillis also.
The minister noted that they are aware of the challenges in the La Ronde area and will begin maintenance work soon.
In Coptol, going back into Watton-Waven, this road, of course, is very important, and some significant rehabilitation work has to be done there, starting first with the drainage, and to ensure that you have proper drainage. And we are also looking at the Eggleston area, so it is a national effort, therefore, going forward.
Is them alone that getting wealthy? The masses do not benefit. And just as black man was selling Africans in those times, in these times, they selling the Caribbean.
Six-time Calypso king Denison Dice Joseph has released his second song for the 2014 Calypso season. Some persons claim that the song is somewhat of an essay and a bit wordy. The entertainer agreed with that sentiment, however, noted that his song covers more ground than just Dominica.
It is an essay actually in that type of form, because that song is not about, it's not really a local kind of a song, it's like a regional song. You know, it's something you would get in a history book. Is something that you would teach the youths about, the growing youths, where Caribbean consciousness is concerned, you know. And as the song says, just how black man was selling Africans in those times, he's selling the Caribbean.
He said, often the greater nations recognize the Caribbean as an investment or properties to be sold, and hopes that Caribbean leaders do not sell out. The quality of the song was also up for debate.
Our culture, like Trinidad and Tobago and the different places that bring out big music and big artists like Machel Montano that have millionaires and millionaire studios to do big work. Our country, I don't think have that yet. The biggest studio we have in our country, I think, is Colin Phillip, that is Imperial Studios, and the others fall under that category. And Colin Phillip is still not the state-of-the-art type of studios.
Persons challenged the king to sing a cappella to prove that he is still able to stand a chance at the crown, some notably saying that Dice has had it long enough.
That form like singing and competitions and always winning going to have an effect on some individuals that find you winning too much. I always bring that back and say, well, if you're getting paid every month, should I say that you're getting paid too much? Because that's my work and that's your work. You know what I tell you? So I have to try my best to do what I have to do when that time present itself.
In other stories, the Signman Limited has donated to a variety of groups and clubs to help meet the expenses during the carnival celebrations. The Signman Limited, which specializes in signage, plaques, banners and billboards among other services, presented plaques, trophies and cash to these organizations on Tuesday, February 18th at the Calypso House in Bath Estate, Roseau. Proprietor of the Signman Limited, Mr. Abraham Brohim, says they are always happy to assist.
And the Signman will always be there whenever possible to give whatever they can. We know that economic times could be hard, but at the same time we know that it's always good and willing to, to assist, because if places like competitions like the Junior Monarch competition, we've been assisting for the past number of years, and we really enjoy working with the young Calypsonians. The prison service, we look at it as a means of assisting guys who have done bad in life, but then they have the opportunity to really showcase themselves.
Recipients included the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, DASPA, the Dominica State College, the Dominica Prison Service, Sakis Lapocabwit, Leo Club of Dominica, and the Dominica Police Sports Club. Mr. Brohim noted that this year's carnival opening parades have not lived up to his expectations.
I've attended a number of openings. I attended the Roseau, the grand opening in Roseau. I went down to St. Joseph plus Portsmouth opening. And from the parades I've seen, I mean, honestly, there could have been an improvement. There could be much more work to be done. St. Joseph wasn't too bad, but what I saw was disappointing, especially in Portsmouth, was I think the lack of participation among the business people. I mean, there's real, in my view, that's poor. I mean, there was hardly any business person up in Portsmouth.
He blamed the shortfall on bickering and backbiting of prominent members who are supposed to be in charge of establishing Carnival as a development product on the island. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.